Oh, it's the back view. Oh no.
Hey!
Turn that camera around.
It's like you've never shot a video before.
I know, I'm struggling already. I've been off for a couple days off in the mountains camping with scouts.
A couple days. You were off 3.5 days to be exact. Did you go get me that extra bond?
It was not 3.5 days. We left Thursday morning and I got back Saturday.
You
like
left
at
Wednesday.
1. We didn't Wednesday. Hi, how you guys doing? Today, we've got some thrift store finds. We're going to be painting some glass.
We're painting glass with all 3 brands of paint we sell. We're using Sweet Pickens Milk, I can't even talk. Sweet Pickens Milk Paint, Fairy Chalk Mother, and DIY paint. Somebody asked us if we could do like a compare contrast about paint. So I thought I would. Would you give me that extra bond that's in the garage?
Oh, yes.
It's on the top shelf and you're so much taller than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using Moody Blue. I'm mixing it up. If you've never used milk paint, it comes in a powdered form. And you have to add warm water. It's 1 part milk paint to 1 part warm water. When you're painting on glass, you have to add extra bond so it doesn't all chip off. And then I'm going to be using Fairy Chalk Mother and Sea Glass and DIY and Petticoat Pink. And just a heads up, I'll announce this later in case people are just tuning in. Fairy Chalk Mother paint at jamirayvintage.com. The quarts are 20% off from now until the 23rd, which is next Saturday. No code needed. So if you've been waiting to stock up and you're not on all of our email subscribers got an email this morning, but if you're not a subscriber, then just want to let you guys know.
Here, why don't you go show them, like close, go like stir that over there.
You guys can't buy bond this big. I get bond in a gallon because I'm a wholesaler.
She has to disclaim that because you're going to go looking for the gallon and it's not going to be there.
They don't have a gallon of bond. So I'm just mixing up my milk paint in my lovely cup. It's like a melted milkshake consistency. And I should have measured, but I didn't, but it's pretty good. I could use my immersion blender to get a really good consistency, but it's loud. And is it in the garage?
Yep.
Would you mind getting that for me? Because I'm painting glass. Yeah, I do need it.
Hang on, no, this is gonna
when you're painting something like glass, you want it really smooth. So if you guys are from California, anywhere in like the San Diego, Oceanside, Temecula area, Zeb and I will be on Main Street in Fallbrook at Vintage Retail Therapy next Saturday from 10 to 2 doing a live paint demonstration. Little birdie told me that she's going to try to be there, my friend Debbie, if you know Debbie from Debbie's Design Diary. We're going to be opening up that store with DIY paint and Sweet Pickens Milk Paint and probably a few painted items as well. And then we'll be coming out at that location about 3 times a year to do classes and bring some more of our painted stuff. So if you're in that area of California, check it out. When we're all done, I'll make sure Zeb puts the event link below, and it's going to have the address and all the information for that. And it's next Saturday, the 23rd. So come say hi. We'd love to see you.
I was not prepared to do milk paint, but now I'm ready.
All right.
Will it fit down in there?
It will fit in there.
Should we bring it close so they can see?
No, it's an immersion blender. We'll put the link for Amazon. Don't mess it up.
This is not a big enough cup for this.
It's fine. It'll work.
Here, give me a little stir with the spoon so we can get that stuff off the bottom.
There we go. Well, you don't want to get all the stuff. That's like previous paint.
Oh, this is an old cup. You want to get your phone out so we can answer comments?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Alright, that should be good enough.
Okay. So we've got milk paint and bond. So let's go over our little finds here before we start painting. I know you guys are. So I hit the jackpot at the thrift stores yesterday, but we had a market. So all of that stuff went to the shop this morning. But if you want to see some of it, go to Facebook, look up Jami Ray Vintage, my live today. I did a little tour of my space and you can see a lot of the things I picked. Are you looking up comments?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to poke the camera down so they can see what I got. But today we went to go buy more smalls and the pickings were slim. So I thought, can I poke this down?
Yeah, you might have to get
How do you
crazy
do
with
that?
it. You have to unscrew
Hold on,
it.
Zeb's moving it.
Technical difficulties.
All right, sorry guys. Okay, so this is what I got. I was thinking, what happens when you go to the thrift store and you can't find anything super good? But there's always glassware, right? Like always lots of clear glass. And in my retail space, I use a lot of clear glass, but you can only have so much, right? So I thought, why not paint it? I mean, I know that's not like a I'm the only person that ever thought about chalk painting and milk painting glass, but I figured that would be a good option. This ginormous pitcher or vase was $2. This vase was $1.50. I liked this bottle because it had a lot of details, and this was $1. And then this vase with the wheat was also $1. So we're going to be painting all of these with milk paint, chalk paint, and DIY paint today. I did pick up this milk glass that I won't paint. This sells like crazy out of the shop. I paid like 75 cents, and I'll probably sell it for $5.95. And I got this little, I'm going to bring this close. I found 2 mugs yesterday that match this pattern, and it's like stoneware. And this was $1. So, I mean, I'm probably going to sell it for like $3.95, but I love finding things that match and making little collections because people come in and buy the whole thing. And the blue with the stoneware is very farmhouse. And I have 2 little mugs at the shop that'll match it. So that's exciting. And then somebody came and bought all of our books.
These were my finds.
So
Jamie
these are
couldn't find
Zeb's
books
finds.
She loves, but when looking for books, I always go for fun titles and then interesting things on the spine, because this is always facing out. So like some details, some variation, things like that.
Yeah, Modern English, How to Raise the Perfect Dog.
These books are from the 1930s, both of these.
Yeah. And these books are like $1 to $2. We sell them for $5. So not a huge markup, but they look good in our space. We don't have to do anything to them. Here's another one. And then Eliza snuck this book in. I don't think it's going to the shop, but she'll have some fun reading it. So books are always a great thing, whether you have a shop or if you guys just like to decorate, because look how great these look together, like on a bookshelf. I mean, picture a little like picture next to it, maybe a little plant on the other side. I love vintage and antique books. All right, we're gonna put these books up. Hey, Les.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say hi to everyone because we're getting lots of shout outs.
Hi, all the people that we love.
It took us a minute to get to the notifications here. Several people, they're gonna try to come and meet us next week.
Oh, we would love that.
While we're down there.
And the store is looking amazing. The gal that owns the shop has done some amazing displays, and I can't even. Like, she's so talented. You will love meeting her. And eventually, we'll be living in California, so it'll be good for you to know where we're at.
Gwen is painting with milk paint tomorrow, so she's excited about the live. She's ordered a couple times from us.
Yay, we appreciate that.
Nicole says, my mom had that whole stoneware dish and platter set from when they got married, and they broke it all.
You know what?
Broke
You
it as
should
kids,
start
I'm guessing?
junking now and buy piece by piece and get it all back together. Good little collection. I like to use magic erasers to get
Yeah,
price tags off.
Trisha O'Meara, she's coming out to Fallbrook for sure.
Yes! Yay!
All right, so we got
Newsflash, I'm much thinner in person. I get it all the time. I actually do. People are like, you look so much smaller in real life. I'm like, I'm not a big person.
I'm as big as I am all the time.
Yeah.
So Vanessa Cabrera,
Your ear.
could you use DIY paint instead? Well, I have
It's not your turn yet, Jack.
to add the bonding agent. So the extra bond only goes in milk paint. The extra bond only goes in milk paint. That's the only thing it's used.
Jack!
Oh, Jack's
Don't
kicking
kick
the camera. All right, I gotta shoo Jack out.
It's your turn.
It's not your turn. I'll go get you in a minute. Don't touch the camera.
So what
on.
you guys are gonna see is that we have 3 kids that went picking this week. They all have little items. They're gonna be coming in periodically and painting with us, taking turns. So this glass, I've just cleaned it. Actually, not on the inside, just on the outside. I removed the tag, and I'm just gonna paint the milk paint directly on it. The thing with milk paint is no matter whether you're painting glass or furniture, the first coat is not very impressive, ever. But the second coat looks so much better. If you guys follow me on Insta stories, this last week I painted a pink dresser, which actually just sold today to my friend's daughter. But I posted a picture of the first coat and it looked awful, but I always just want to let people know that it doesn't look that great. So that way, if it's the first time you've done it, you're not surprised.
I'm slacking on my camera guy.
I'm just coming. I'm just painting. I mean, I'm not doing anything very exciting.
Yeah, but it's nice if they can see it close up.
Yeah.
So Katie Scott asked, she said she hasn't cracked into her DIY order, but she's contemplating contacting Debbie to see if she could be a retailer.
Yeah, there are retailers for DIY in Canada. So you would go to DIY Paint, and you'll probably wind up dealing with Karen Berg. She's the retail director, and just let her know that I referred you. So
What paint do you want this one to go?
whatever, pick one.
Cool. We're going DIY.
Not that one. I'm just kidding.
How dare you?
How dare I? All right, so I'm actually gonna paint like the lip of this, I think. So that way it doesn't look
I need a
weird
brush.
when they look down into it. It's gonna be, I mean, life-changing, this paint job here. Not really. But it already looks better.
All right, I'm going with the round zebra brush. Why do you ask? Because it's the cleanish one.
Because it's clean.
We got a video coming out on brush care next week, and we're gonna try to take our own advice on that and actually clean our brushes regularly.
Yeah, let's hope so. I actually have a new line of brush soap from Paint Pixie that'll be up on the website. So we're gonna do a video all about that. Okay, so that first coat is done. We'll let that dry, leave that brush there. I'll do this one next. I need another brush.
Oh no, smart TVs, you can't find a live video on the smart TVs? I don't know if the live will stream on a smart TV, just because it might have to be uploaded afterwards. So
You might have to watch us. Can you use your muscles? So this is Fairy Chalk Mother in Sea Glass.
one of these times I'm not going to be able to open this,
Yeah.
and it's going to be
If
really embarrassing.
Now, it's important to know that Fairy Chalk Mother in Sea Glass is this light color. Sea Glass also comes in DIY paint, and it's not pastel, it's a brighter color. So, but I'm gonna paint this jar.
So Lauren asks, will the glass be dishwasher safe?
No.
Good question. It will not be, but once we seal it, you can get it wet. It'll be wipeable, but you don't want to like leave water on it
Yeah.
for a prolonged amount of
Oh,
time.
I forgot to take the tag off. Why didn't anybody tell me the tag was still on?
They
See?
probably are, and I'm missing it in the
Bam.
comments.
All right. Yeah, it will be like you can wipe it with a damp rag, but you don't want to submerge it in water. It's not like a factory finish or anything. We're just doing decor, anyways. I mean, I don't think you put these bases in your dishwasher.
Yep, you can paint. So let's see.
Make sure I'm not dripping.
I'm having trouble keeping up with the comments, guys. You're asking.
My
so
job is harder than it looks, isn't it?
many. Is it still daylight here? Yes, a little bit, but it's going down. It's got that weird yellowish light going on right now.
It's the glowy time. That's what she paints.
Let's see, Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. Have you ever had an issue in filming a live video on your phone and said, please rotate phone? Yeah, you have to unlock your screen.
It has to be unlocked
in
and
settings.
horizontal.
Hey, Crystal. And then,
I do vertical video on Facebook.
So the Real Housewife, Jamie may have already answered this question just by doing this, but this is just your traditional kind of chalk paint, the Fairy Chalk Mother line that we
It's the
sell.
paint that's on sale right now for $24 a quart on our website.
And that's what's going on this jar right now.
I'll come show it to you in a second.
She'll come show you the one coat. All right, I'm going to get this pink on here, and then I'll come back to questions.
So the thing about Fairy Chalk Mother is it's thinner than DIY paint, and it's self-leveling. So you'll get like less texture, and some people want like a smoother finish right off the bat, and so this is a good thing. It's not as powdery when you distress it, and if you distress a lot of furniture, you know what I'm talking about. DIY and Sweet Pickins both will powder more than the Fairy Chalk Mother. They all have to be sealed with something when you're done, and they're all going to be matte, and they're all going to stick to glass.
Now, we do get asked that question a lot. Do you have to seal it? We seal everything that we sell, for the most part.
Ta-da! Look how pretty that detail
But we
is.
don't always seal our own pieces. If it's something we're going to use and we know how it's going to be used, we're like, oh, we're never going to wipe that down.
Yeah.
We don't seal it. We don't bother sealing it.
I have well, if it's mine, and once it cures, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, after about 30 days, it's not really coming off of there anyway, even if it's not sealed. But don't take my word on that and not seal your stuff and then be sad once the paint all comes off.
I wonder what would happen if I used golden ticket. So I think the last time I checked, we have a few of these left in stock, the golden ticket. I'm going to try just the golden ticket on this. You're supposed to put it over paint, but we'll see what it looks like. It might be like pretty shimmer. And golden ticket is a sealer. So the golden ticket by DIY Paint does not have to be sealed. They're working really hard on getting a better manufacturer for it. The demand is so crazy they can't keep up. And they don't let us know when it comes in stock. You just have to try to order it, and if it's there, it's there. And so I put it on every order, and I order like 3 times a week. So
Someone earlier said they love Star Wars, and not to distract from what Jamie's saying, but I love Star Wars a lot.
Yeah, we saw Solo.
So sorry I missed your name. Hit it again, I'll try to catch it.
All right, I gotta get another paintbrush.
How much is Golden Ticket?
It's $33 for 8 ounces. But I've only ever opened this one, and it's, I mean, it's really thin, and it doesn't take much. Can you open that?
We'll see. Oh yeah.
It's the metallics that are in it that are kind of expensive to produce, but it's pretty unique.
I feel like you loosened that. That wasn't that tight.
This is too wide. I'm gonna pretend that she didn't say that. Alright. I've gotta go get another brush. I'll be back.
Yeah, Golden Ticket is hard to get your hands on, Annette. So the pink color is petticoat pink in the DIY, and I'll probably do another coat on that here in a minute once this is dryish.
I'm gonna use the Palm Pro.
Got the Palm Pro.
I just ordered 100 of these because
We couldn't keep them in stock, so we got 100 now. We'll see how long they last. We'll try to catch up with the orders before they actually run out this time.
So I'm gonna paint this with Golden Ticket.
Lisa Hancock Guthrie. We try to teach people the correct way to use paint, but 9 times out of 10, we're just winging it. We're throwing paint on stuff. We're distressing things. We're wet distressing things. We seal things. Sometimes it doesn't always work out.
Yeah,
but
that's weird on its own. So normally Golden Ticket goes over paint. See, I just put this directly on the glass.
Oh, I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I don't like it. So I'm gonna wipe it off and I'll paint it and then I'll put.
But yeah, as far as going rogue goes, you know, you just gotta start painting stuff. Don't be scared. I mean, this was $1. I think this was $1.50. This was $2. Get some paint. Start practicing. Start painting stuff.
I think I made my milk paint.
You can't really go wrong. You can't mess it up, especially if you're gonna throw some wet distress on there and make it look chippy and old. That's the beauty of the farmhouse look.
The milk paint I should measure. I never do. Do as I say, not as I do.
So, Old Lady Too Fast asked, antique heavy plaster framed mirror was spray painted with awful gold paint. Can I use chalk paint over the gold, or should I seal then paint? Don't want orangey gold to show through when I distress.
Oh, so you need to put something on it. I would suggest high bond primer.
Yeah.
And then when you distress, you'll have white coming through.
Yeah, so if you put the high bond primer on first, that'll stick to that spray paint really well, and it doesn't want to come off even when you distress it a lot of times. So you shouldn't have to seal over the high bond primer, so you should be able to just high bond primer, paint, and then distress where you want, and you'll see white underneath where the high bond primer is instead of like the bad spray paint job. Yes, Crystal, we just got 100 of them, so we've got, I think we sold several, but we still have a bunch left in stock on the Palm Pro brushes.
All right, so this is going farm fresh.
Les Meyer asked what kind of paint we use mostly. Right now, it's probably been the DIY, mostly because of ease of use. I mean, it sticks to everything, it looks great, the colors are vibrant, it blends well, it sprays. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it sprays like about a 7. The Fairy Chalk Mother sprays the best. So if you're going to be using a sprayer and you need to turn a lot of pieces around, you're selling them, you're not just painting them for yourself, or you want that professional kind of real smooth look, the Fairy Chalk Mother spray is so nice.
The DIY just takes a little bit of learning.
It takes a little practice to get the DIY to spray good. I don't know why. I've tried to water it down more, I've tried different air pressures, and it always comes out, and then once we sand it, it looks great.
Yeah. So I'm using Farm Fresh, and then I'm gonna come over this with the gold. It's a weird like angle on this.
Kathy, Kathy Watwood, have you ever thought of trying to do a blended paint look like you do on furniture pieces? We've got several videos on furniture pieces, a desk, an armoire.
No, she's saying like on our smalls.
Oh,
Here's
on our
the
smalls?
thing,
I did a candlestick a while back. It didn't really
you don't
show
make
up
more
well.
money on it, at least I don't. So
Yeah.
I like to keep my smalls more like solid and not as creative, I guess you could say. And then I do my techniques on the furniture, and then that way in the shop I've got a little relief, because if you do everything like all boho and crazy, you got to be really good at designing to pull it all together, and I'm not. So I'm just being honest. So I do really cool like paint finishes on my furniture, and then my smalls are a little bit more solid. And the other thing is I'm always moving the smalls around.
Yeah.
So keeping them a little bit more neutral and solid, it makes it easier to move around the shop when things sell. If something is very design specific, then sometimes it's hard to move. I hope that answers your question.
Vanessa Cabrera, that's awesome. You guys are having record sales. So Julianne Mazzoni asks, how much will you sell them for after you're done? I'm assuming you're asking about these vases or vases.
Depends on how much. Like this big one, probably like 20. Depends on how cool it is. Maybe $20, $22, 16, 12, $8 to $12 for these ones. Depends. If I put something in them like flowers, then the price goes up quite a bit.
Yeah, if we put like fake flowers in them.
I like to do pieces that have flowers and then pieces that don't. So then some people don't want to buy it already pre-put together, and then some people just want to be like, bam, done.
Awesome, Jamie W. Did a small glass rooster, blended paint on that. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. Are you part of our Jami Ray Vintage group? Tag us, because
so this is drying fast.
So we see some of the things in the Jami Ray Vintage group, but if you don't tag me or Jamie, or Jamie and I guess is how you would say that.
Might be crazy.
Well, I'm okay with being crazy. I'd rather see it than not, but we don't get everything in our news feed because Facebook doesn't like to show people everything for whatever reason.
Well, and also we have 3,000 people in that group, so it's kind of hard. We try to see everything we can and comment. Yep. I mean, it's just impossible. I always will respond to emails and texts and PMs as often as I can, but sometimes I just can't. I always try though.
Vanessa asks if we've ever mixed our own chalk paint.
Nope. Well, I have. It didn't turn out right.
We did a couple times, and it wasn't how we wanted, and we found that for about the same price and effort, we could buy other people's paint that was already nice and awesome. So.
Well, I needed something that was always consistent for custom work and that had pre-mixed colors and stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's when I started using the Fairy Chalk Mother, which was like the first chalk paint I really used on a regular basis, and I just liked how it always.
Well, so what would happen is someone would buy a piece from us, and then 3 months later they'd be like, hey, can I get another piece in that same color to match? And when you're mixing your own paint, it's super hard to be consistent with that.
Right. So this one's pretty good. I've got a few like peekaboos, but that's going to have to dry for a few hours and I'll touch it up. Oh, go ahead.
Got a question. So Diana Anika asked, to seal the vase used for flowers, what can I use on DIY paint?
I would just use Big Top.
So the DIY Big Top.
Yeah, I would use Big Top so that way you can wipe it down. You know, if it gets wet, it's not going to bother it. It's going to hold up pretty good.
Catherine Ozzie, that's a great idea. Sometimes we hit the IKEA up. I haven't had good luck lately, but man, that's awesome that you're able to find those cabinet doors and make signs out of them because they sell them for ridiculously cheap and they're already trimmed out and ready to go. You just got to paint on them.
So here we go to the Restore. Because then you can get like solid wood. Our IKEA mostly has like MDF and stuff. It's harder to find the solid wood. So if you have a Habitat for Humanity Restore near you, try that and look for cabinet doors there too.
So Shayna Close, she wants to know if we can do a video on how to decorate the top of the cabinets. Here, I'll give you a quick breakdown.
I don't think I'm very good at it, so I don't know.
Here, we're gonna go to the top of the cabinets and hope they're fairly clean. So we got some stuff there. There's a window, a clock.
So this is, I'll give you like a
don't
brief.
look on top of the fridge. It's where I keep all the stuff I don't want the kids
It's
to touch.
not me because that's stall. I'll give you guys a brief rundown. So when I'm decorating on top of my cabinets, I only would decorate on top of cabinets if you have plenty of space. I hate it when it's crowded. Like if you don't have a huge space, don't put anything on top of there. Or if you put anything on top there, put like a collection of things that are all like the same. I've seen that looks pretty good. But I have tons of space because we have vaulted ceilings. So I like to have like a nice neutral something in the background for height, which in my case is old windows. And then I like to do highs and lows and groupings of like 2 or 3 things. But I also like to leave some visual space in between for the eye to have rest. Because if you put too much stuff up there, it just gets to be busy.
Crystal asked, is Fairy Chalk Mother made in the USA? Yes, it is. It's actually made half hour down the road from us. That's where the owner lives and that's where it's manufactured.
So all of our paint is made in the USA. It's made in New Mexico for DIY paint. Sweet Pickens, I don't know exactly where it's manufactured. I know it's the United States. And then, yeah, Fairy Chalk Mother is from Utah.
So Angie Britt wants to know, I think she's asking what the difference is more than anything, but
Yeah, I'm gonna be
is
done.
Big Top easier to put on than polyacrylic?
Yes.
Hands
down.
It spreads on so smooth and even, and
Lays flat.
it lays flat, and it dries fast. I'm always surprised at how quickly it dries, and then you can just throw another coat right on and done.
So the other thing to keep in mind is that polyacrylic you can buy by the gallon. It's much less expensive, but as far as ease of use, Big Top hands down. It's also all natural, no VOC, no solvents.
So I'm gonna go get Jack before he goes crazy,
Okay.
so he can paint his thing. But can you answer Crystal's
Yeah, I
comment
will.
there?
I'm gonna just move
There was
these
someone
over.
else that had a comment.
I'm just gonna move these over because they really, especially because this is painted on glass, which is super slick, we're gonna have to let them dry a few hours. Then we'll do second coats, and then we will wet distress. If you don't know what wet distressing is, we'll take a damp rag, wring it out, and use a wet damp rag to distress them, because obviously you can't use sandpaper on glass. Then we'll remove all the dust, and we'll seal them with Big Top, and we'll be good to go.
Catherine Ozzie says she's not in Australia. Sorry, I just assumed.
Just because her name is Ozzy? That's funny.
That's what I get for assuming something, right?
I got paint on me, hold on. And
Okay, I'm gonna go grab Jack. He has something he wants to show you that he thrifted, and he wants to paint it for you.
Okay, and all the kids have it. So let me see, we've got comments. Oh, the ratio for Fairy Chalk Mother and DIY paint is, we usually do 3 parts paint to 1 part water. Fairy Chalk Mother, we might do a little bit more, between 3 and 4 parts paint to 1 part water. You just need to play around with it till you have a consistency. It's not always the same. With mineral-based paints, sometimes they can thicken over time. So really play with your gun. 3 parts paint to 1 part water is about what's correct, and just get used to what consistency works well, and it will get easier. And like practice on the ground first, make sure it's spraying good, and then you can adjust it.
All right, Jack's here. He wants to show you what he found for $1, and he's gonna paint it.
He was so excited for this. What is that, Jack?
Skeleton.
Skeleton.
We're
and
keeping this one, aren't we?
Yeah, this is not going in the shop. What's the skeleton on?
A book.
A book. And what's this?
A candle.
A candle. What color are you gonna paint the skeleton? Which one do you want? You want this one?
Blue.
You want green?
Yeah.
Okay, he's gonna use Farm Fresh. Let's take the candle out. You can paint that, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna respond to comments. Is that okay?
And can we light the candle?
We'll light the candle, yeah, in a minute, but could you...
We'll light it after you get it painted,
So,
okay?
Jack, here's the trick, though. You don't want to dip the whole brush. See how it's just a little bit on the tip? Just dip the tip a little bit, and then scoop it off on the sides, and then paint. Can you do that?
Yes.
If you put too much paint on there, you're gonna slop paint
Hey,
everywhere.
don't get any paint on Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's your Darth Vader shirt. All right, paint it. Okay.
I don't paint the
This is an experiment in keeping the kids happy while we're live.
They always beg to go live, so he's gonna paint, and then we'll have some more kids come
Here,
out.
I'm gonna hold it steady. You put the paint on. All right, go.
Yeah, so Bondo is normally used on automobiles, but we use the all-purpose Bondo that's used for automobiles on furniture.
Yeah, the all-purpose can
Donna
be used
says
on wood, glass, all kinds of stuff. I don't know that I would use it on plastic, but it would probably bond to like MDF, especially. I use it a lot on MDF.
Yeah. So Donnie asked where did I do live painting. I didn't do live painting, but I did do a live video on Facebook of my store. So if you go to Jami Ray Vintage on Facebook, find today's live video. If you watch the beginning, that's all my retail space.
Here, let's flip it over and you can do this side some, so they can see what
let's
you got done.
I have a wood chair that was burned in a fire, but I love the patina. What can I seal it with to
Oh,
save the
look.
patina?
So I wouldn't spray it with anything because that's going to pull all that char and stains up from the burning. I would brush just probably like, I would say DIY top coat would probably be your best because it dries fast.
Yeah, it does.
And brush it on.
Somebody asked if it's 50-50 for your paint and sprayer. No, it's 3 parts paint to 1 part water for Fairy Chalk Mother and DIY. Fairy Chalk Mother, maybe a little bit more paint.
So to get more technical, it's a 20-ounce hopper and it has a top fill line that's not quite all the way up to the top of the hopper on the HVLP that we use. And I do 15 ounces of paint to 5 ounces of water. So if you measure that out separately and mix that up, you'll be great.
The color on the pink bottle is DIY and petticoat pink. And I have to say that DIY and petticoat pink is like almost identical to Sweet Pickins milk paint and First Crush. So if you're not wanting to use milk paint, a close second in color is this petticoat pink. In fact, one of the gals at my store today saw a petticoat pink tote that I painted and totally thought it was First Crush. The colors are really, really similar. Okay, I'm just making sure we've answered everybody's questions. How much furniture can you paint with a quart of milk paint? You can paint like a couple of dressers, a small hutch. The lighter the milk paint, the less coverage. The darker the milk paint, the better coverage. Like a lot of times when I use the black, I do like one coat and a little touch up and done. And the black goes a really long way. The white is going to give you the least amount of coverage. So just keep that in mind.
Here, paint the front of his face.
The creator of Fairy Chalk Mother Paint is a small business. It is a friend of mine. Her name's Marcy, and she has 5 children, and it's totally a family operation. They're all homeschooled, so when they're not doing homeschool, they're helping out with a family business.
Well, a couple of them are adults now too.
Oh yeah, I think 3 of her children are adults now. I've known her for a lot of years. So, all right, let's see. Color on the bottle, please. This color on the bottle is Sea Glass by Fairy Chalk Mother, which is this really pretty, like, soft.
Are you happy with that, Jack?
I broke it.
No, it's not broken. It's just got a little crack. It was like that.
Les had a question. Is Jack the baby? Jack is are you the baby of the family? No, you're not a baby. What are you?
I'm big.
He's a big kid, but he is the youngest.
Yes, I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. They say they love your technique. What do you call this technique, Jack?
I don't think he knows what a technique is.
Is it just getting stuff done?
Spider-Man.
It's a Spider-Man technique. You guys heard it here first. Yes, if you sign up for DIY paint because you heard about it through me, I do get a small referral fee. So let them know it was me, and I get like a referral fee in paint. So appreciate that.
You're done? All right, let's show them. Here, hold on to it.
Les says Happy Father's Day, Zeb.
Oh, thank you. It is going to be a happy Father's Day. They may let me sleep in.
I bought food, so there will be food. All right, show them you like it better, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna let Roderick come on, okay? Can you tell him bye? Hey, leave the skull here.
You forgot to light it up downstairs.
Yeah, we'll light it up in your room when you go to bed tonight.
We'll put the candle back in it once it's dry and light it, okay?
Yeah. Can you tell
High five.
tell everybody?
Bye.
I know. Tell everybody in YouTube bye.
He's
You
not
tell
ready.
Bye.
Whoa.
All right.
That was vigorous.
Okay, I'll go get
Okay.
Redrick because he's dying.
What's the best chalk paint brush? I would have to say hands down if you're going to spend the money. I love Paint Pixie. Gives you a great texture and holds a lot of paint. And Jack's crying because he didn't want to be off apparently. Everybody says Jack did a good job. Okay, this was a question that I got from Christina Redry. If you were going to get just like 1 or 2 paints from Fairy Chalk Mother, I would buy White Swan because I can hands down say that White Swan is the best coverage of any white paint I've ever used in my life. Hands down. When you're brushing especially. And then either Farm Fresh or Apothecary. This is Farm Fresh, this color here. And then Apothecary I use all the time. It's a good blue-green. So those 2 colors. If you're just going to get 2 colors, it would definitely be that. If you're going to get 3, I'd throw in either Petticoat Pink or Little Black Dress.
So this is Redrick, and he's got this little dog he's going to paint.
What color are you painting him?
I'm gonna paint him like a polar bear, so
Oh,
white.
you need white.
Oh, he needs a white. I'll find him a white.
I'll find him a white. You
Okay.
check.
And I'm gonna show them up
We're
close.
going to need a new brush. Go show him the dog up close and why you love it. How
I
old
love-
are you, Redrick?
I'm 6, and this is why I love the dog. It's like, I love dogs, and this is like a little cute puppy, and it's like my friend's puppy that he had.
All right, so we've got a question here. Hannah Peru, what is the brand of foam brush you use? So we just got a new order in them, and they're the Worcester foam brush. They're the 3-inch foam king.
Here, Roderick can use it. It's probably not the best brush for that application. But.
So this is the foam brush. We usually use it for sealer. This one's about a month old. You can see it's got some stuff on there from not getting washed good enough and just being old. It's got like some paint transfer. So use this one, buddy.
Okay, he's going to be using DIY White Swan. And somebody asked if it's a white. No, DIY White Swan is a warm white.
Here, let me help you out.
Oops. a
All
lot
right,
of
so
paint.
you just
You
want to
forgot to tell him I told Jack. Just dip the tip.
I assume because he was older, he was farther along in his skills.
All right,
so
if
just dip like
if
this
you
one.
want a super
Right.
white, go with Fairy Chalk Mother Snowflake. It is the whitest white of any paint that I carry, hands down. Redrick is cute. Are you cute?
When do you turn 7, buddy?
This summer.
Coming up. He's excited. He has a summer birthday, so he gets a half birthday during the school year so that they can have cake at school.
Yeah, I make a big deal out of half birthdays. Zeb always teases me. We have cake. They usually get some sort of small present. We go do something fun.
And
Oh, careful.
and for my birthday, we're going to see a movie.
We're gonna go see a movie.
Is that the party?
Yeah, that's what he said. And then we'll come back here for cake and presents.
And then I'm going to hide all my Lego sets from Jack because he likes open them and then just blows them up.
You're gonna hide all your Lego sets from Jack? How do you know you're gonna get any for your birthday?
Because it's pretty much a given. We give Legos for birthdays around here.
Well, you have thousands of Legos. How could you possibly need any more? Can
I like Lego sets.
So Les, White
I want a
Swan is the
tiny
DIY
one.
paint. This
Give
is
me
White
that.
Swan.
Here.
I need a tiny.
You have plenty right here. Take this drip and smear it around. Okay, or just.
We
dip
did give him a huge brush. It's probably
Yeah, that's not the
super
right
easy.
brush for that application.
So can you give me a different?
Okay, just keep using that one and I'll wash this one because I'm done painting the glass for a while.
Here, I have one.
You have one?
Use this round zipper on it.
I think that one is dried out on the end.
No, it's not. Here, just dip it
It's
a little.
not
Just dip it a little.
flexible.
There you go. So this is the round zipper brush. Excellent. If you need like an economy brush that's gonna last and last you. Doesn't hold quite as much paint as the Paint Pixie brushes, and it's not as wide, so you can't cover as fast. Yeah, it's not quite as good for blending, but you can get everything done with this brush. Here, hold your brush down here, buddy. Hold it right here like a pencil. Hold it like a pencil.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a minute to wash. So is that one working out okay? Oh yeah, that one's way better. than
David
this.
Connor, how much is White Swan for a quart?
$33 plus tax if you live in Utah. Hold on, dude. I love you. Hold on, let me help you out. We're gonna have a little painting lesson, okay? There's like when you're painting, if you notice that there's drips, take your paintbrush, get
And
all.
rub it around
Hold on. Get all the paint off of it. Then take this and then smooth it down like that. Use the paint that's already on the dog.
So these two sizes here in the DIY paint
Good job.
are 8 ounces, and they are sample size, and you can cover quite a bit with
I'm going to
these.
paint the bottom too because like.
We'll let the top dry and then you can paint the bottom. Here, paint this side. And you're almost done.
Sorry, I was answering a question on that.
You have a drip right there if you want to take and smooth that out. And then get
Can you
inside
show
of
us
his
the
ears.
size of the different paints we can buy? Yeah, I can go
Oh,
grab
also
some.
I did like a little paint brush.
I don't know if we have them all. We have a quart, a pint, and 8 ounces.
Mom,
and then
Mom, I need a little thing.
I don't have a little tiny paintbrush.
I need one for the.
Oh, we're just gonna paint white. We'll do the detail like on Monday.
Okay. And that's not. That's like. That's in 2 days.
That is in 2 days, yeah.
And Father's Day is tomorrow.
Yeah, what are we gonna do for Father's Day?
We're going to have breakfast burritos and going to have a pie and other fun stuff.
Other pie and breakfast burritos, and we're gonna not fight. That's all Dad wants for Father's Day, right? I bought him a tool. Maybe he'll show you guys. I gave it to him early. I bought Zeb a hand tool. Oh, Zeb's pretty. Lots of paint.
All right, I'll go grab my rasp.
Get underneath here.
All right, so without getting paint on those, because we got to ship those out, I think.
Yeah. This is a quart. Fairy Chalk Mother and DIY both come in this size, which is a quart. Fairy Chalk Mother samples are 4 ounces, so they come in this little jar.
They're only $6. Are they $6?
Yeah. The DIY paint is 8 ounces. You can see the difference, but this is twice the price. It's twice the paint. So there you go. DIY also comes in a pint size, and this is the difference between a pint and a quart. A pint is exactly half of a quart, and that's kind of how it works. Like there's a quart, a pint is half the size of a quart, and then the 8 ounce sample is half the size of a pint. And the Fairy Chalk Mother, their sample is half the size of the 8 ounce DIY sample. So hopefully that makes sense. And then we have a quart of milk paint. It actually is 12 ounces, but it makes a quart because you mix it with water.
They're going to visit me back up here for like the bottom.
So they're going to
Okay.
visit you? Okay.
So keep it on when I'm coming back.
Okay, careful, just a little bit. This is 6 ounces, which makes a pint, which is half as much as this. And then the sweet pickin' samples are 2 ounces, which make 4 ounces. They're all sizes.
So Jackie Sherbum, to keep going here on questions. If you're not spraying Fairy Chalk Mother, oh no, that's a different one.
Okay, you're doing good.
Oh, Skidmore. If you're not spraying Fairy Chalk Mother, which brush would you recommend painting a large China hutch in black?
Paint Pixie.
The 1 3/4, the bigger brush in the Paint Pixie.
If you're only gonna buy one brush, buy the 1 3/4 Paint Pixie because it holds the most paint. It's pretty versatile. If you're doing detail work, the French round, hands down, getting in corners. Like if you're painting kitchen cabinets, getting in corners or like painting detail on pieces, the French round is really great for that. All right, looks like we're done.
Jackie Sherburn asked, if you mix paint in a sprayer and don't use it all, can you save it for later? Yes, you can. I usually just leave mine in the sprayer till I'm ready to wash them, because usually we paint enough projects that like the next day or even in a couple hours I might use that paint. You don't necessarily want to let it sit inevitably in there because it will dry out. It's not airtight.
And we buy the cheap paint sprayers. So.
Yeah, but you can leave it in there. I mean,
Okay,
unless it's milk paint, you can leave it in there probably for a couple days, I'd say, and then still use it. If you dump it out into a separate container and then wash your sprayer, that's probably a best practice.
Okay, you're good.
But just know that if you try to brush that, it's going to be really thin because it was thinned down for spraying and it won't brush very well.
All right. Jack, Redrick, Eliza wants to have it turned. Hold on, give me this. You got way too much paint on there for this.
Okay, I'm just gonna use this.
Okay, just use that one. Do it. Do it.
I didn't. Got it.
Oh, you got that ear. Okay, when this
And
is,
I got my hand wet.
and you got your hand. Oh, go wash that in the sink.
Did you ask this question about which, so if you were going to buy 3 Fairy Chalk Mother paints, which one
Fairy
would be
Chalk Mothers.
the best to start with?
White Swan.
No, that's the DIY.
Or sorry, not White Swan. Snowflake.
Fairy Chalk Mother Snowflake.
Fairy Chalk Mother Snowflake. Fairy Chalk Mother.
I would say
Harbor?
I love Harbor right now. Harbor is a really good one. It's a fun blue.
And Fairy Chalk Mother in blue green. Blue green was made specifically for me. I kept mixing the color. It was very popular and everything I painted in it sold. So that one is a good one too. I haven't used it in a while, but it is definitely a keeper.
I'm going to be waiting on the couch to do the bottom. So yeah.
Okay.
No, we're probably not going to do the bottom tonight. We're almost done. Would you could tell Eliza to come up here and bring her piece?
Oh yeah. Well, what piece is like?
Does the DIY paint ever go on sale? Locally, can't sell it online on sale though.
It will never go on sale online. It's a company-wide policy. But I do a semi-annual sale at my retail locations every 6 months. So Lehi, Utah, soon to be Fallbrook, California, and I actually have a 3rd location looking into possibly. But I'm only one little person, so I can't be everywhere. He's gonna go find Eliza. Okay, let's see. What's milk paint? Go to our milk paint playlist when you're done watching this live video, and there is a ton of information. Milk paint, I can give you a brief rundown. It's all natural. It comes in a powdered form, and it gives you a really great, chippy, authentic look. Sorry, we have a little lull in painting here. Thanks, Sally. I like the glass too, and I think it really, like, I mean, this is only 1 coat, so it doesn't look super amazing, but look at the difference, you know, it was plain, but on the shelf, these are really going to pop now that they've been painted. Oops. Put that like that. You can see them all together. There we go. All right, Eliza, you're gonna be over here.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we got Eliza. While we're answering questions, we'll let her paint her thrift store find. How much was this, Eliza?
I think it was like $1.
Right here.
Oh, $2.
$2 for this big old tote. It's handmade. It's got a little chip out of it up there, but we're gonna paint it and get it a chippy look, and it'll be all right. Oh, Jack's trying to sneak back in. Come on, Jack, come with me.
No.
We'll light your candle in just a little bit. We'll light the candle. I promise. We'll light it.
What should I do?
I don't know, whatever color you want to use. It's already out.
Huh?
A color that's already out.
Can I?
You can't use this, 'cause I'm using it.
No, this one.
No, because I can't wash, you can paint it, why don't you paint it this color here? I don't have a tote that color. You like pink?
Yes.
Okay. I have already a pink tote in the shop, but that's okay because it'll sell, and I'm gonna need another one. But please don't drip that all over the floor. So paint over the top.
All right, so because Jamie mentioned it real quick, I'll show you. I like to get old tools and kind of refurbish them and make them useful again, especially hand tools. So she got this fun rasp. This is a Stanley. It's the number 285, and it's got this cool handle that you can adjust. And I'm pretty excited about it. I'm gonna get all the rust off, shine it up. Just to kind of show you what I do, this is a bench plane that was rusted solid. Was rusted solid, and I use this to finish all the tabletops I do. I use this.
Dad, I sneaked in.
Yeah, you snuck in. So I use all the planes, all the tabletops I do. I hand plane them. That's what I'm trying to say. Jack distracted me. Sorry. And then I've got this fun old drill. Love the hand tools. It's like this. Goes like this.
Good job.
Mom, I need like a better brush to get under.
No, that's good. Just keep working at it. You'll get it. I'm just putting the golden ticket over the top of this.
What is this? This is
Petticoat pink. Eliza, how old are you?
9.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
We talked about that the other day, huh?
Yes, I like any kind of blue. Just
What
blue.
grade are you going to be in next year?
4.
So Eliza is my crafter. If you saw, we recently redid her bedroom with a craft station and with a desk, because she is a crafty girl. In fact, if I need craft supplies, who do I borrow them from?
Me.
Yep. All the craft supplies in the house are in Eliza's room. Actually, aside from painting, I'm not super crafty.
So are you going to distress the glass?
Yeah, I'll do a wet distress on it.
That was asked by Christine Wisher.
So I'll show you guys I'll probably do 2 coats of this golden ticket. Oh, can you guys see this? It's kind of metallic over the top of the Farm Fresh. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna wait till it dries and do a second coat. I'll try to post a picture of what it looks like in the,
So I don't know if you've answered this. Chasing Sunshine by Veronica wants to know how we're going to have 3 separate locations that far apart from each other.
So the paint is shipped. I don't own the stores. I just rent space, and the paint ships from my manufacturer. The one location is where we live, which is right here in Lehi. The other location in California is someplace I visit on a regular basis, so I'll be able to go out there and do classes, and I'm just going to keep the paint stocked and keep a few projects in there. And the third location is where our family is located. So if you know where our family is from, it's in that general area. So we go down there and visit them, and a family member is possibly opening up a store, and they're interested in carrying some paint.
So Music Mad says, thanks for that. We'll look it up. I don't live in the USA, but we'll see what's available. Guess what? We ship internationally, so you can order it from us if you'd like and use these exact same products.
We've shipped so far to the UK, to Australia, to Canada. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks. Heads up. Especially if it has to go across the ocean.
Yeah, it takes it a little while.
But if you've ordered from America, you might be used to the international shipping situation. My foot itches. All right.
So Hazel L says, I used wax on my alligator hide dresser and it's still yucky feeling. What did I do wrong? Like it's still like gummy kinda. You need to wipe that off, like buff it and wipe it off till you can't get any more off.
Like this.
Like you don't want the wax to be on there thick because it'll never dry off. So you gotta just buff it until it's in there. And
Some people.
it'll still seal and be wipeable.
Oh, you got sunburn.
A little bit.
Just, sorry, squirrel. Some people use auto buffers on their pieces to smooth out their wax. So if you're not physically capable of really buffing that wax in, you could try one of those and see how it works. Let us know on the Jami Ray Vintage group how that goes. Or you can
So Larry corrected me on my drill. It is a brace bit. Thank you. I was a little flustered with Jack. I could not remember the name of it, so appreciate that.
Liza, you want to show them your... Look how cute this is in petticoat pink. Pink has been like a really hot color for us.
Could you turn it?
Oops, hold on, you forgot to remove this tag.
Oh.
I think you got the front, don't you? Oh, no. Okay. I'll let you do it this way. Paint like that so they can watch you paint.
So let's see. I'm gonna try to read this right. It's a big long name all
I'm
mushed
gonna get
together.
Eliza a hair tie. She's got petticoat. hair.
Kristen Ardre. Going with that. Can you tell me the difference in look of white wax and black wax? Not sure which one to buy. So let's say you painted a piece blue. The white wax is going to lighten it up. It'll make it kind of softer and lighter, and the dark wax is going to darken it up and almost give it like a real aged, like worn kind of, almost like a dirty look in the corners. Not necessarily dirty, that's the wrong word. But like it's like the paint has aged quite a bit, and all the cracks and creases is what you're going to get out of a dark wax. Hope that answers your question. So Farrier things on the DIY website, they have a list of where all the retailers are, so you can just go to that and find that and see if there's anyone local and close to you there.
You got some drips. So Eliza, one of the things that's important when you're painting is to go over your area before it dries and see if there's any drips and catch them before it dries and smooth them out. You're doing pretty good. All right, come over here.
Eliza, they have a question for you.
Yes.
Jamie W. wants to know what you're going to do with your crate. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
You don't know yet? Well, come
We're gonna
talk to
sell
them
it
over
at the
here. They
shop.
can't even see you. Your hand is in the
I was
screen.
thinking about selling it to the shop.
You're going to sell it in
Selling
the shop?
it at the shop. Can't talk.
You can't talk. You're gonna sell it at the shop.
Yes. There.
Yeah.
All right, let me see how long we've been live.
Eliza paints stuff that goes in the shop all the time. She's a pretty good little painter.
Oh, 51 minutes. We're coming up on it. We'll go
All
for
right.
a couple more minutes here, guys. So if you got questions, we'll try to rapid fire them. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wet distress these, right?
Not live because they need more.
But no, we're going to do
yeah,
that.
I will put a picture in community. I'm
Okay,
trying.
so community tab. Let me show you here. We're gonna have at the end of this video, so you guys can all find us. So right now I'm watching our video, right? I'm at the home page on mobile here. So you go videos, playlist, community. So that's where we post all the fun pictures of things we're doing behind the scenes, projects that you don't get to see us finish here live because we just don't have a long enough time in the video to complete some of these projects. And let's say you wanted to, I don't know if I can do this because it's our channel. Hang on, let me switch it to a different channel. Wait for it. I'll show you how to get notifications, just in case you're struggling with it. All right, so let's say this is my channel I don't do much with anymore. It's the Raywire channel. So it's got this little bell right here, right? You just click on that, and up here on the bottom, it's gonna pop up options. I wanna make sure I see everything. So live videos, every new video, and community posts. If you just want occasional posts, you can click this. If you don't want to see anything, you just click none and it'll turn your bell off.
You probably should have
But
painted the inside.
if you
first,
have
but
these
don't.
selected, you
Hold on,
can
let me
see
get this.
everything.
So when I'm painting totes, a little tip of advice, which I just told Eliza, she'll
Oh.
have to wait until the outside dries. I paint the inside first, all the sides, I'll like flip it this way, flip it that way, and then once the inside's painted, then I paint the outside. But that's okay, because she's gonna finish the outside and we'll let it dry. The good thing about DIY paint covering over this light is we will not do 2 coats. Like 1 coat is gonna be plenty. It's clay based, so it's heavily pigmented. It's not always the case depending on what you're painting, but when you're painting raw wood, especially with the darker colors like this pink, it covers pretty good.
So Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. Lots of questions on how to do YouTube. I'd love to answer them. Send us a PM so I can answer your specific questions on that, and I'll go over some things with you if you'd like.
Well, and we can also,
Send us a PM on Jami Ray Vintage.
we're not pros by any means. We can give you some of our favorite inspiration for YouTube and who would have good information for you.
Kristen Ardre, I will be in Utah soon. Where can I go buy your paint?
You can go to 1245 West Main Street in Lehi to Molly's Forget Me Not. We're open Tuesday through Saturday.
And if you forget that, I have that address in the description of every video we have. So
Yeah, and I tag Molly's Forget Me Not on a ton of stuff. So if you follow me on social media, you can find her, find the address, and the hours.
Eliza Krista says she loves your crate. How much are you wanting to sell it for?
I don't know.
So a crate this size would probably go, it's pretty big, so probably about $22.
$22?
And then I can keep the money.
What?
Hey, there's overhead. You gotta reimburse us for the paint, for the tote. How about I buy you a Happy Meal and we call it even?
No, thanks.
Wow! She's a stiff businesswoman.
I don't like it.
Well, the nice thing about $22, you paid $2 for it. You put some paint on it, and you got like 10 times markup. That's pretty good markup.
Yep. It's big though. You could put like a nice, fun floral arrangement in there.
It'd be good
or
on a farm table.
Christmas stuff.
Maybe not
Holiday
pink.
stuff.
It's not
Some people decorate with
Christmas.
pink for Christmas.
well. Cool.
People
Les says higher, charge more.
higher, charge more. Okay. I usually charge about $22 for the outside. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I can't hold it up close because they're still wet. But the second coat is magic. It's painted on the inside too. But okay. So that's the milk paint. Remember how I said the first coat was kind of sloppy? Look at the second coat. Completely covered. Bam. Done.
Bam.
This is still
Did you show
dry.
them this one close?
Yeah, but I'm going to let it dry.
I'll give them this one. It's pretty much dry.
I'll let it dry. I'm going to put on another coat of the gold and then what distress. The liquid, the golden ticket, you really need paint underneath.
I think this would look really cool with a bunch of different flowers in them. This one.
Flowers like in it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's big enough it could hold your rolling pins. Is this 2 coats of the DIY?
No, it's one.
No, this is 2.
It's 2, but it wasn't quite dry when I put the second coat on, so I need to let it dry all the way and then put that second coat.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to take off. Have a good evening. Happy Father's Day to all the other fathers out there. And we will see you next week. We're going to, so we're traveling a lot next week, going to California. We will get as many videos up as we can. We got like 300 videos. We're coming up on 300. So if you're missing us, go watch an old video. We love it.
We're going to shoot quite a few videos Monday and Tuesday before we leave and schedule them. In fact, that's what we did last week. Zeb did a video before he went camping. And so what the video he did of the crate, he like scheduled it in advance. But we will be live on Saturday night. I don't know what we're going to be doing. Probably something with Miss Debbie. We'll see. Be sure to go to jamirayvintage.com so you don't miss out on that Fairy Chalk Weather Quart sale. Hit the notifications button. See y'all. Give us a thumbs up. Comment below with questions. What?
Can you turn that?
Yeah. I'm trying to do a thumbnail here. And subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Oh, ho, ho. See you guys. Have a good
Bye,
evening.
guys. Love you.